Weatherman, don't tell me lies. I know it's all a big surprise. It's a hocus pocus magic that you do.
Good afternoon, I'm Meteorologist David Knollhoff, and welcome to WEITV, another weekly weather edition. Well, we have lots to talk about today. We've had some weather in the area, but let's go all the way back to last Friday. We had been talking about a dominant high pressure system sitting over a good portion of the Texas area with abundant sunshine, a lot of heat, and moist flow off the Gulf of Mexico. Well, last Friday we had a brief reprieve after the hot day, and we got severe showers and thunderstorms to develop over the northern portion of the Texas Hill Country and move southward into the central and southern portions of the Texas Hill Country. And actually over Bernie we had severe weather. And actually some other parts of the Hill Country like Kerrville and some points east of Bernie had some isolated severe weather. Wind damage occurred in downtown parts of Bernie where we had 65 to 75 mile per hour winds, isolated big trees, and a lot of tree damage done across the eastern portions of the Bernie area. Isolated severe weather also occurred in other parts of the Hill Country, but Bernie was actually the bullseye. That was last Friday, and the high pressure came back in during the weekend, in towards also the rest of this week, and it left pretty much dry conditions, and that was what we were expecting for the most part for this last week. High temperatures got close to the 100-degree mark each and every day for most of the Texas Hill Country, and low temperatures were in the 70s, so not a lot of cloud cover, certainly uncomfortable. The question becomes, what is going to happen this weekend into the early portion of next week? I alluded in the first segment of the weathercast here that there was going to be changes coming, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The big high pressure center that we've seen over Texas is going to weaken this weekend and move off to the northwest. That's going to allow an upper level disturbance or a set of disturbances to move from the north down southward into our area over the next few days. And in combination with an upper level low and upper level support, we're also going to have a surface front that's going to be slowly moving northward from the north down towards the south into our neck of the woods also for the next few days. All of this front and upper level support are going to combine with a lot of moisture off of the Gulf of Mexico, and it looks like it's going to translate into rainfall across the Texas Hill Country this weekend into the early portion of next week. Total rainfall totals are looking to be anywhere from about 1 to 3 inches across a good portion of the Hill Country, the eastern Hill Country. It looks like, though, however, the driest portion of the Hill Country could be the southwestern portion of the Hill Country. So they may only see a few hundredths or a quarter of an inch of rainfall over the next 3 or 4 days. Now, the complicating factor of this weather forecast goes back and originates back far south into the Gulf of Mexico. There is a system, a tropical system, that is going to probably gain strength and move northward along the eastern portion of Mexico and into the far western parts of the Gulf of Mexico, and then it's going to curve and bend around the Gulf of Mexico and move northeastward across areas like Corpus Christi and Houston. Now, if the trajectory of this system does change and moves farther inland, then that could translate to even more rain towards midweek next week for us. But it looks like right now that this tropical system is going to hug the Texas coast once it arrives, Monday time frame, and then move northeastward through midweek and then late into next week out of the Gulf of Mexico and into Louisiana area. Now this system could cause up to 6 inches of rainfall across portions of the far western Gulf into portions like Houston and Corpus Christi and Brownsville. So we're going to have to watch that system carefully and track it for you and give you any updates just in case things do change towards midweek next week. So if all pans out as expected, this system does not move into our area. The cold front passes through Monday time frame and we get dry air that pushes in. Dry air will shut off the rainfall, and we turn back to sunny days and warmer temperatures in the 90s from about Tuesday through Friday time frame. and lows will be in the 70s. So again, we're going to track this system for you and give you updates and make sure that any change will be communicated effectively. So please stay tuned to Twitter and Facebook and WEITV, and we'll gladly give you updates. Now, also on the same note, not meteorologists go on the limb like I do, but I'm going to go ahead and say, since we are looking at the end of August right now, the next 2 weeks at the end of August, the pattern is beginning to change. And not only is the pattern beginning to change just because of the season, but we also have an El Nino that's developing in the tropical Pacific, which also means that weather conditions are going to be starting to move in not only towards the end of summer, but into the beginning of the fall 2012 time frame. And this is very good news, especially with the ongoing drought that we have. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think we are beginning to see the end of the summer, the hot, the continual dry weather, and instead we're going to start to see a beginning of more frequent rainfalls. And so we can certainly thank El Nino for that change in weather, and we'll have to keep you posted, as we do think weather conditions are going to be with us through the fall and into the winter of 2012-2013. Thank you for tuning in. Keep us posted, and we will keep you alert of any changes. Thank you for joining us. I'm meteorologist David Knollhoff.
Look at clouds and watch them swirl, and then you take us for a whirl and try to tell us that you know the truth. I was watching last week's show, your estimate was a little low, and I think you told me I would get some rain.